What is up, Team Happy and Fit? If we have not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Julianne Condia. I'm the founder of Team Happy and Fit. I love this team. It was actually named after my favorite candle from Target, Choose Happiness. I love choosing happy and I love choosing fit. I was not fit when I started this. You guys, oh my gosh, my headphones are not even in. I have them in my ears, but they're not plugged in. Hold on. I'm either going to take these out or I'm going to plug them in. And you can tell we're real professional over here and really serious, but I'm so glad I figured that out now and not when this whole call without it, you probably wouldn't have even noticed. Anyway, I love it. I started this journey 35 pounds heavier, and I think it's important to remember that. I also was a burnt out, overworked teacher, and I just connected because I heard a Zoom. And I think it's important for me to share my story because it's been 4 years. 4 years since I said yes to coaching, and it's changed every aspect of my life. On Monday, my mom, I didn't think she was going to go to our family reunion, and it's every year in New York. And I've gone my whole life. I think I've only missed like a handful of times. And it was on Monday, and my family kept saying, "Are you coming? Are you coming? Are you coming?" And it's this Saturday. And so I looked at Eric and I said, "I need to go." And he said, "Okay." And we found a $78 flight, by the way. I know, it is awesome, and I leave tomorrow. But then we found another flight that was more expensive, but $78, I'll take it. And it's like with a decent airline. That's why everything works out when you have a good perspective. Like when you have, like when you are focused on happy, things are so awesome that pop up in your life. If you are focused on stress and negativity, all you're going to do is you're going to stub your toe, you're going to spill the milk carton, and you're going to spill your coffee all over your shirt. Like that is what's going to happen when you focus on that kind of thing. It's true, right? Do you ever have one of those days where everything is just falling apart? It's because that's where your focus is. But if you are focused on abundance and you are focused on happiness and you are focused on all of the good, the most amazing things are going to happen in your life, and blessings, such as a $78 plane ticket across the country, which is so awesome. And I thought about this and I was like, I know I was a teacher, so I would have had the summer off, but put that in perspective. It was Monday and I bought my tickets Monday and I'm leaving tomorrow and I'm spending a week with my family. And Eric was just in Chicago and I was like, I love that. I love that 4 years ago, coaching couldn't give me this. Not financially, I'm not talking about that, definitely financially, but I'm also talking about the time. That if this would have been in October, it wouldn't have mattered. And I don't lead this team to do this full time. That's not my mission with all of you. My mission for all of you is to live your best life, to live your most abundant life, to live your most healthiest and happiest life, for you to get fit in every area of your life. That is my number one mission when I lead this team. And if that to you is more time with your family, I say go for it. Why not you? I didn't know anyone I could do something like this, and I am. I was like, wow, I can't believe that I could just do that I could just go and see my family, because you want to know something, that's who I want to be spending my time with. So I just wanted to share that with you, that I just feel so incredibly grateful for this opportunity. And how did I get here is I showed up to Zooms and I showed up for myself. And I was talking to Sarah Scott last week, and I said, she says, how do you get good at this? Is what she said. I said, when you can get good at yourself, you get good at this. Get good at taking care of yourself. And I'm not just talking physically, I'm talking mentally. Have better rebounds. So when you get into a negative state of mind, figure out a way to be more optimistic, that you can focus on the abundant blessings in your life and focus on the good, and that no matter what you're doing in life, that success will not bring you happiness. I'm reading Sean Anker, and it's changed my perspective. I think it's always been my perspective, but it's enhanced it. That you can choose to be happy right now with whatever current situation you're in. If you're financially struggling, you can find abundance. Your wealth is your love. Your wealth is your integrity. Your wealth are your friendships. Your wealth is your relationships. Your wealth is your amount of caring. Your wealth is your faith, right? Your wealth is the things that you love that fills up your soul. Wealth doesn't equal finances. And I think when you can get in that state, you literally can see the good in every situation. that comes your way. I am just so grateful to be here, and I'm really excited to talk about this lesson tonight. But before we do that, are there any shout outs, people that you want to recognize? And they don't have to be on this call in order for you to recognize them, whether it's business related, life related, maybe they're a new coach, whatever it is. I would love for you to unmute and talk about who you want to give a shout out to real quickly. I will do that too, David. I just saw your transformation and I'm really inspired by it. And I'm also inspired that you took action in that flash sale, and then you just took massive action with moving the needle in your business by starting so many conversations. And I have to tell you, you took feedback from me. I saw that. You asked, I have all these share carts out. What do I do? And I gave you about 5 solutions to that. And you took one and you said, oh, they responded back. Because I just was blunt with them. I love that. Whether they commit or go in, that's on them, not on you, right? But either way, super cool. That shows that you're coachable. I really adore that. Maddie, congratulations at being on SC12. That's incredible. I'm really proud of you for that. And I know that you really utilized that flash sale, but you also need to know that you can do this without a flash sale. I don't want you to think the only way to do that is with a flash sale. So keep on going and you rock. It's amazing. Those are my shout outs. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Laramie, wait, I want to give one to Laramie. She's at SC8. Oh, you guys, it's so cool. It is so cool to see that. Caitlin Green, you're at 4. I know that this is business related shout outs. I just am excited for so many of you because you're excited. Like I can see your excitement and it literally is filling my soul. I love that. So I just want to give you guys some shout outs for that because I just know that you're proud of that. It's really cool to see that. So I'm going to unmute and you all can do some shout outs.
All right, since we know how much Jillian loves all the awkward silence. I'm just going to reiterate what Jules said about David. I feel like I shouted him out the last time too, but literally like the mental transformation that David has made since Summit is absolutely incredible. I know that we got to hear, or at least Julian and I got to hear some of his story the last night of Summit as we were walking home. And David was just talking about how he needs to make this work. He needs to just do it and get going. And I was like, get on the team calls. Like Monday night we got Q&As and Tuesday. And he's like, oh man, I don't know. I got to put the kids to bed. And it's just that kind of time. And then between like Summit and then the next week, like David has just shown up. He's made the team calls work. He's posting every day. He started a success pod on Instagram and has been reaching out to other coaches to help just with growth and massive action. So my shout out today is to David. He's doing an amazing job.
All right, I have a shout out. My shout out's for someone that's not here, but Lisa Luck, she's going to watch this recording. She always does. I asked her to speak on a separate team call on Sunday night about tips for introverted coaches, and she absolutely blew it out of the water. So I am incredibly proud of her growth because if I would have asked her to lead a Zoom 2 years ago, she would have cried and probably quit. And now she's just inspired so many people to keep going no matter what they bring to the business. So I'm really, really proud of her. And also for Liz Colburn for making Super Saturday work. I know that was a couple weeks ago, but she had an insane day and she still showed up for her team and for her business in Madison. And we got to recognize her for 1 star. And that was a really, really cool moment for me just because we've been in coaching for pretty much almost the exact same amount of time. And I just love her to death. So huge shout out for Liz.
I'll go and give a shout out to Kim and Julianne. I applied for a different job today after listening to you guys' podcast. So it's just like massive belief that I'm not limited to what I'm doing. It's still with the same company, but it's just a promotion. And so I was like, I've been sitting on this for 9 days. So it's just, you guys, if you need that kick in the butt, just go push play on something and it's there. It's the mental switch. It's just there.
That is amazing. I love hearing that. That is so cool. Eric, could you share your favorite thing at Tony Robbins? So he went to the same conference that I went to here in San Jose and Chicago. And I said, how was it? And he said, my life will never be the same. He totally walked on fire. And he came back, and it was just so cool. Tony Robbins is amazing. If you can follow him on YouTube, which we did for a long time, we would listen to his YouTube, and we would watch his Netflix documentary. We'd listen to his podcast. But it was really cool to experience it, and then it was really amazing to watch Eric experience it. Eric, can you share with us your favorite thing from Unleash the Power Within and what you loved about it?
Thing. Oh, I'm muted right now, aren't I? Thank you. My favorite thing actually was just being there for the experience. So like just being at like a live event is totally different. And if you're familiar with like the 5 love languages, like a lot of my love comes from like physical touch or like acts of service for other people. So I just think like being there and being that in that experience was actually life transforming, and I got to walk on fire. Even though walking on fire wasn't that like life transforming, it was they had pretty much 4 days, and the 3rd day was transformation day. And on that day you had to picture in your 3 limiting beliefs and go into like a very very much like I want to say it's like a very painful experience. And the reason that Tony does it is actually just because we get into these places where we reach a wall, and he's trying to push you past that wall, and you're like trying to fight during this whole experience. You're like trying to fight it. And everyone's in this together. The amount of like energy in that room at that time is like overwhelming. And after that experience, you're actually asked to like think of, okay, what are you going to replace those limiting beliefs with? And my biggest one is like, I am not enough for other people, or myself included. And I think that was definitely a big takeaway in terms of that respect. Something that I haven't been dealing with for the last couple months, but I think that was like the biggest part of my experience was that. And then also I think if you guys are thinking about doing that or like a similar experience to that, it just like, again, going back to the energy in that room, it was just like nothing else I've ever seen. I think like even like Summit, just think of Summit like times 10, pretty much, where like everyone's dancing, everyone's up on their feet. And you just like get to play full out and get to experience everything for yourself. What other question did you ask me?
No.
Or is that it? That was it.
You get to be yourself, which is awesome.
I can be myself, yeah. And also the biggest thing is that I am in control, and not other people. So yeah.
And I think so. Day 3, you think that you're going to walk on fire, which you do on the first day, and it's actually the easiest thing. And you just don't even hesitate. You just do it. Eric even said he got a coal stuck on his foot, and it wasn't a big deal. He just got a blister. But the 3rd day is transformation day, and it's literally the most excruciating pain that you will ever feel, and it's not even real. So what you do is you play in what Eric said, play into your limiting beliefs. So if you guys think you're not smart, or people don't like me, or money's hard to come by, what Tony does is he makes you meditate and manifest those limiting beliefs that they're real. And it is awful. And so then when you're done playing that out for like 2 hours of your life, it is so bad. Like I asked Eric if he almost threw up, and he said yes, and I said so did I. And Eric, did you cry during during the transformation? Were you like crying?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was like men around me wailing, and I wanted to throw up. I was in so much pain physically and mentally and emotionally. And so what you do then is you realize none of your limiting beliefs are actually real. And so what you want to do is the opposite. You want to do the opposite thing. So for you guys, like, whatever your limiting belief is, like, I truly believe you're on this path to prove to yourself that you don't have to be your limitations. I think Ashley, I want to give a shout out to Ashley. Ashley was feeling insecure or struggling with certain things. And I said, you should go to the team about it. And my friend Shelly said, people can meet your needs once they know them. Like, where it's like we can play into this whole thing of, I'm not meant to be here, or this isn't the place for me. Or you can address it and say, these are what I'm feeling, and I know it's not true, but I want to put that out there. And Ashley put that out there, and so much love swarmed her with that. And also it gave room for other people to share the same need. And I thought that that was so powerful, that you gave someone a platform and a voice through a limiting belief that you were feeling that's not real. It was a past experience that made you feel that way. You knew that, you understood that, and you brought it to the team. And so when Tony has us do this, it's like, you guys, we're only limited by ourselves if we play into limitations. Like, if we play into fear, if we play into frustration, if we play into insecurity, if we play into comparison, that is what our life becomes. But we don't have to play into that. We can play into growth. We can play into potential. We can play into dreaming. We can play into being our best selves and unleashing who it is that we really are. And I believe that when you continue to work on yourself every single day, that can be your reality. Is that it doesn't mean it shields you from hard. It won't, but you'll have a better time working through those hard times when you're playing into choosing happy, when you're playing into self-care, when you're playing into working on yourself every single day and tackling hard things. Because what tends to happen when you do that, you look back 4 years ago and you go, wow, I've grown. I've changed. I'm not that person anymore. And I'm so glad. I remember at Unleash the Power Within, someone said to Tony, I'm gonna be where you're at. And he said, great, I won't be here when you get here. Meaning he's gonna not stop growing. Like, wherever people are wanting to get, we should never, that's where we stop. This is not a destination. This journey is not a destination. We are just continuing on it and growing, which is so powerful. And to be able to lean in together and do this together, we build more armor, we have more resilience, and we have more happiness, and we have more opportunities to bless other people, to help other people when we're playing into our potential. So just as much as you can play into your limiting beliefs, the opposite, if you change your mindset, you can actually play in and play better when you're playing into the good. So many times it's easier to feed our self-doubt, to feed and fuel our excuses. But at the end of the day, that doesn't make us a better person. And so the first step in that is awareness. Being fully aware of what your limitations are. Do you feel like you are only an introvert and so therefore you have to be on a lonely island? Do you fear judgment, that you won't be accepted, you won't be loved? What is it? And you might be playing into it simply with how you're even running your business, that you lack significance. Why would anyone follow you on social media? If anything, you feel like people are just going to be judgmental. But if you keep playing into that story, then you're right. Not that the people will actually be judgmental, but that's going to stop you from living out your potential. But if you start living into, maybe if I post this positive message, it'll be the best message someone sees all day long. Maybe if I do this, right, and live this way, it'll inspire someone else to live this way. Maybe if I start taking care of myself, my husband will start to take care of himself, or vice versa. Maybe, and for Eric and I, Eric was fit. He was working on himself. I was the one who wasn't. I was the one that made him unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? He made me healthy. I made him unhealthy. We have a good balance happening in our lives right now. We're just playing. We're on the same page. But it's just, you have to play into what it is that you are meant to be. And so at Tony Robbins, this transformation day, I asked Eric, I said, well, how was it? And he goes, the most excruciating pain I've ever experienced. Once you play full out into your limiting beliefs, that's the last thing you want for your life. That those stories that you come up with in your head are a joke, because there is no way in hell I will be like that person that I played into 20 years from now. I'm going to go the farthest from that girl and play into strength and power and love and acceptance and significance and help people and make a difference. That's who I'm going to play into. Because when I played into my limiting beliefs, I was alone. I was in pain. I was negative. I was hurting. I didn't have family. I was all by myself. And that's not going to happen. That's not what I'm destined for. And so when you have these negative beliefs coming up, awareness is everything. You have to identify what are your limiting beliefs. Here's mine. I have test anxiety, like hardcore test anxiety. My limiting belief in life is money's hard to come by and I'm not smart. And so I started rock climbing, and I had to take a belay lesson, and I had to get certified with belaying, and I had to take a test. You guys, I was sweating, and I told the girl, I was like, I have test anxiety, and she's like, I work with students who have test anxiety, I can help you. And I was like, okay. And it was the easiest thing to pass, because I started focusing on that I'm good at this. Instead of focusing on, I have test anxiety, guess what? When I started focusing on test anxiety, what happened? My heart started racing. I started to think I wouldn't pass. I didn't think that I would be good at it. There was no way I should take it. Yeah, it literally created more anxiety in my life. Then when my friend Shelly said, Jillian, you know what you're doing? You're great at this. Like, you can do this. You don't have to do it perfectly. And I said, oh. And then I said, no, I know how to do this. And I started playing into this, like, I deserve this. I'm good at this. I'm going to be safe when I belay. I'm going to make sure I'm aware and keeping people safe when I'm belaying. And when I played into that, I crushed it. And Eric's literally going to take the test this week, and he's going to be like, that was the simplest thing ever. He doesn't have the anxiety that I have with that, right? And so when I started changing the story in my head, it produced better results. I got more confident with what I was doing. So with coaching, with social media, with inviting, with Success Club, are you playing into I can't do it? Are you playing into Emerald's too hard? Are you playing into everyone quits on me? Are you playing into everyone ghosts me? Are you playing into blah, 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 blah? How is that serving you? How is that serving you? I've been a coach this long. I should be farther along by now. BS. This is your journey. Get over yourself. The only reason you're saying that is because you're comparing yourself to someone else that might be going what you think is quicker. Get over yourself. That's not serving you. That's not serving the people around you. That's not helping you become the best version of yourself when you're thinking like that. So instead, man, I've learned a lot in my journey, and I'm so grateful for that. How can I learn and get better? You know what? I haven't quit. And I've been a coach for 3 years, and I've seen so many coaches quit, and I haven't. That feels good. I've been on my self-care journey for this long. That gives me some kind of credit. Maybe I should take this thing a little more serious and put myself a little bit out there, because I really believe in this, because I haven't quit. And if I did quit and I'm back, there's power in the comeback. Welcome back, right? And if you're a brand new coach, you joined for hope. What is that hope? Play into that. What hope did you see? What did your coach make you feel? Go make someone else feel that way. You don't need to know everything. You just need to make people feel a certain way. And if you make them feel good and encouraged and confident, guess what they'll do? They'll be attracted to that. It's not that you have to know right leg, left leg, volume, SC, what all this stuff means. All you need to know is heart and connection. When you can connect your heart to someone else and show them potential, guess what they do? They're attracted to that. They want that. That's why all of you are here. You craved something, whether it was to make $100 a week or to lose 35 pounds, whatever it was, you're here. And what has kept you here? And that's what you play into. Why you love this, what this can do for others, and what it's currently doing for you. And when you can live authentically in that, you stand in your truth, and you don't let people with tiny minds make you question what it is that you're doing. They don't have that power unless you give them that power. Who are they to tell you how you should live your life? When you're sharing positive stories on social media, who is someone to make you feel inferior? Who is someone to make you feel silly for being a part of this? Bless and release, do your thing, and you're going to connect with people who genuinely need this. For me, I've gained confidence. I have awareness. I dream bigger than I've ever dreamt before. I have this huge vision for my family. If you talk to Morgan Brill, so does she. She has a goal to give, she told me this years ago, $500 a month to her family. You remember that? That's how many years has that been since we've talked about that? A while. I remember that. That's in my heart and in my head when I think of someone like Morgan Brill. We haven't talked about that in a real long time, but that's why I lead the way that I do, is because I know that's in her heart. Just as much as I can name a lot more on this call. And that's why this means something to me, is because I know, I was just telling some leaders earlier today, I said, whoa, it's so cool to see so many of your paychecks growing. It literally makes me so stoked. You deserve that. You deserve that. And to know that that's blessing your family is everything to me. Everything. It's incredible. It's so good. I love surrounding myself with people who just want to get better. I love surrounding myself with people who just show up for themselves every single day. For those of you who are in the Lift 4 group, congratulations. I literally am watching. I have my group going. I have some new challengers that are starting out this month, and it is so cool to see how they feel. I got a text today. She said, thanks for all the encouragement and the support. It's making me feel so awesome. And I said, that's what I'm here for. That's what we get to do. We get to have an impact in people's lives. So when we start making it less about us, you know, the scarcity, the nervousness, the not confident, no one will join me, this is hard, I don't know, I don't want to build a business in this. Why not? Why would you not want to build a business in this? Why would you not want to do this? Because what it represents for me is that you literally get to make people feel better and transform kitchens, transform families, transform hearts, transform mindsets, connect people with a positive community, and make an income while doing that, while doing it yourself. I think anyone who says that they don't want to do this is they're scared, or they think they don't deserve it. And I'm here to say, I hope this is speaking to you today, because that's false. You do deserve it. And I will be the person that breathes that belief into you. Yes, maybe you have some things to figure out. Yes, maybe you need to get over yourself with social media. Yes, maybe you've fallen off the bandwagon and you're like, wow, the only way to build this business is to work on myself, that I have not done my workouts in a while. Okay, do it tomorrow. Just because you got off track, just get back on track. That's just that simple, right? You stopped your Shakeology home direct because it was too expensive, but my thing is stop leaning on that it's too expensive excuse and help 3 people so that it's not expensive for you. Boom, I solved your solution. So then what do you do from there? You go to YouTube and you go, how do I get my Shakeology paid for? How do I hit Success Club 6? I help 3 people. Well, how do I do that? Google's awesome. We have a lot of resources. My #1 mission is to help coaches get their challenge pack covered so they don't lean on any excuses that this is too expensive, because that type of nutrition is fueling your brain, your body, everything. I even think Shakeology is fueling Olivia Brill. Like, that is everything. Morgan's baby. Like, that's big, you guys. That's big. And what this does. And so it's never too late. And if you are playing into limitations, that's not serving you. I hope that spoke to you today. You need to get over it and just go for it. Something is going to click, and when it does, maybe it's just you taking action. It's not what you know. You can know exactly how to hit Success Club, how to go Emerald, how to do this, this, and this, but at the end of the day, it's the action. You can know about every trainer. You can know about every program. You can know about everything about Shakeology, but if you don't actually do it, it's not going to do anything for you. So once you start taking action into it, you start transforming your body. What program was that for me? I lost 30 pounds, I want to say, with Insanity Max 30, but what toned my body up was hammer and chisel. I didn't want to do it. Everyone said that it was working. I didn't want to do it. For those of you who were around at that time, you know that's true. I would say, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. I don't want to do it. I want to do Insanity Max 30 forever, forever. Then I did it, and it transformed my body. They were right. And a lot of times I get people who say, Julianne, you say this, I know, and I still try to do it my own way. And then I do what you say and it works. Oh my goodness, it works. Y'all, yeah, it does. And I'm telling you, sometimes it means taking action. You know what to do. How do you do it? You connect with people. I was just talking, Lisa Locke, if you're watching this recording, you just bought a house, I would be following hashtags of new homeowner, just bought a house, right? I've been doing Cali transplant, doing these things. And then what you do from there is you comment below on someone's post and you ask them a question. Hey, girl, I just bought a house a couple months ago. How's it going? It's such a crazy process, isn't it? You connect, right? You leave a comment on someone, they comment back, follow you, you send them a message, say, hey, thanks for following me. And then you start making small talk about your house connection. It's not an invite right away. It's just a connection, you guys. People join you based off of connection. People join you based off of consistency. People join you based on you being real about what you're doing and not being a back and forth, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. People want to follow people who follow through. Give yourself the gift of follow through. And I think when I gave myself the gift of follow through is when I started making a team. And when I started having challenge groups, because it wasn't just about me anymore. It was easy to quit on myself. It was easy to stop because no one was watching, right? But actually that's what social media became for me, was that when I started sharing my journey, I was like, gosh, people are going to really see if I'm going to stick this thing out. I better stick this thing out. But then it became even more intense when people started joining me. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's not just me anymore. I have like 5 people to continue to inspire and help and show up for, and they're showing up too. And so I made it more about them and less about me and my insecurities. And then I transformed, and so did they, which is really powerful. Okay, I want you to get a pen and a paper. We're going to do some activities for this rest of the year. We have 6 months left, which is incredible, 5.5 months, I guess. I'm really excited about this. I just think that there's so much momentum, and sometimes it just takes making a plan. And once you make that plan, just doing the action of what it takes. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about what is your plan for the next 6 months for personal development. Instead of winging it, instead of scrolling your podcast and be like, I have to get my PD in today, let's be more purposeful with it. So this is what I mean by it. Maybe on Mondays, you listen to this certain podcast at this certain time, and you can put it in your timer for sure, or in your phone. But for me, here's my example. I plan on reading at least 6 more books. If I read more than 6 books, great. And what I did is I actually wrote down the names of the book. Now, here's the deal. There might be a new book that comes out that I want to read over a book I have written down. Thankfully, this is not written in stone. So if you want to substitute, that's totally fine. But I have a plan. I even have all these books at my house currently, if that makes sense. So I literally am reading The Happiness Advantage now. I'm almost done. Then I have Everybody Always. Then I have the Happiness Code, and then I have Cold Tangerine, and then Like She Owns the Place, and then How to Stop Feeling Like Shit or Get Shit Done, or something with shit in it, is this other book that I have. So that's going to be on my 6th line there. So what I want you to do is I want you to formulate a plan of what does your PD look like for the rest of the year. If you are a new coach, I recommend the compound effect. I recommend the slight edge. Girl Wash Your Face is great. It's bubbly, it's wonderful, but sometimes we need to hear those tangible things, such as the compound effect was the very first book I read as a coach, and I think that's why I've stuck it out. I literally read the compound effect thinking like, whoa, slow and steady wins the race, just trust this, it's gonna compound over time. Just as much as if you buy a Starbucks coffee every single day for 20 years, it's over $1 million of just buying coffee in your life of 20 years. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So then I thought about that with coaching. I was like, if I make 1 social media post a day, what they'll compound into. If I hit Success Club every single month, what that will compound into. Going Emerald and hitting Success Club compounded into a 6-figure business. with a goal to be a 7-figure business. And the cool thing about this business is that it doesn't play favorites. The cool thing about this is that there's enough success for us all. In fact, it's true that literally any of you on this call can have a 6-figure business if you decide to have one. If you decide not to have one because you think that there's no more success for you, then you're right. But if you get that out of your head and realize, wow, health and happiness is for life, wellness is for life, people need this for life. If I continue to work on myself for life, people will want to do this with me, if that makes sense. So what is your plan for Success Club for the rest of the month, the rest of the year? Slight edge, sell or be sold is so good. If you struggle with the word selling, sell or be sold is really good. If you struggle with getting stuff done, 10x rule, eat that frog. If you struggle with procrastination, eat that frog. If you struggle with finishing things, Finish by John Acuff. If you struggle with having obstacles, you don't see obstacles as a way of growth. The obstacle is the way. It's so flipping good. If you struggle with being positive, Energy Bus by John Gordon. If you're struggling with leadership, Power of Positive Leadership. Eric sees me reading all the time. He sees me go through books. I know what I'm talking about. Personal development has changed my life. If you see me right now as a leader and I'm making you feel a certain way, or you're seeing me crush this business, or you're seeing me do a certain thing, it's not because my mom was pregnant with me and she was like, Julianne, you are going to be a Beachbody coach. And this is what's going to happen. You are going to be a wonderful girl. You're going to be stubborn. And then you're going to get a college rejection letter. Then you're going to go to college because you pretty much had to beg them to let you in. And then you're going to go to school for teaching. You're going to teach in the inner city. Just trust it. It's going to be fine. And then you're going to do it. And then you're going to stumble across this thing called Beachbody. Guys, that didn't happen. I didn't walk out of the womb a Beachbody coach. I didn't know anything about Beachbody. I thought it was you got fit on a beach. I had never tried Shakeology. I'd never been in a challenge group. I did not like working out. Let's be real. You aren't born as a coach unless you're Olivia. I can't wait till she turns 18. We won't talk about that. That's sad. But you're not born it. You turn into it. Like you grow into it. You learn from it. So if you're hearing anything from me and you're like, man, I want to be like that, or man, I wish I was there. That was me when I was on calls. And I was like, no, don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat yourself from that. Don't cheat yourself from this journey. Do not cut corners. I am so glad I did not cut corners. I'm so glad that this has taken the pace that it has because I've grown so much. Please don't wish to be anywhere else but right here, but know where you're supposed to be, because this is the moment that you get made. These are the days that make you. But if you're hearing this and you're like, I want to talk like that, be like that, whatever, personal development has been that for me. The way that I can communicate, the way I can work through problems with solutions, the way my mindset has shifted has been 100% God, yes, always. Jesus is my homeboy, right? Do people still say that? Like, I don't know if that's rude or not, but you know what I'm saying? And personal development. It has been everything with the way that I think, the way that I feel, the way that I see issues, everything. The way that I have been able to do what I've done has been from personal development. And so I don't wing it. And I was not a book person before this. And honestly, I am a visual person. So highlighting in my book and taking notes and being able to make posts and be able to run challenge groups with my personal development legitimately has helped me retain so much of the knowledge that I've been able to learn, and it's helped me grow. I do love listening to personal development. My favorite one right now, which is not Eric's favorite one, is MF. Yep, that's Mother Effer, CEO. And he says the F word, I'm not even sure how many times, but it fires me up every time. It's just, he's speaking to my soul, and it's so good. And I love listening to him. I love listening to Super Soul Sunday with Oprah. I love the Confidence Podcast. I love MWF Motivation. I love the Quote of the Day show. I love that stuff, you guys. But it might be random. But when you can pick up a book, you can listen to it too. If it's specific, Insecurity Detox. If you struggle with judging other people, Judgment Detox. Oh my gosh, so good. But when you specify, your personal development to what you need in life, you will grow from it. I cuss too much at work. If I look, that's so, I know, he's for real. It's so crazy. I'm just catching up on this. I told Julianne 3 months ago she intimidated me because I wasn't loving and feeding myself. She scared the crap out of me. I was weak that week, and I was letting anything, oh, girl, I got you. Personal development is everything. So please make a list of at least 6 things. It can be a book that you listen to. We can definitely help you through that process, if that makes sense, of finding personal development that will help you. I think the compound effect is so great for newer coaches, though. You need to trust that this is a delay result business, and that's freaking frustrating in a time like this. In a world that we live in, that we can, how do, like, parents who have kids that are school age, like, or maybe in middle school, like, do they really do their homework? I feel like they could just go to Google and it does their homework for them. Like, that is not a thing for when I went to school. Like, we get things immediate now, and this business is the least of that. Just as much as when you don't put on 50 pounds in 1 week, you're not going to lose 50 pounds in 1 week, right? And so you're not going to build a 6-figure business in a year. Maybe. I shouldn't say not. I shouldn't say that you can't do that. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying you can't think all of a sudden it's going to happen so quickly, that all of a sudden you're going to have all these likes on your post. Like, you have to trust this compound effect. You have to trust that this is delay result, and it's so good. It is so, so good when you stick it out. 2 millimeters. That's like everyone, it's like when you walk into a room, if you're hunched over or you're doing messages that are like this, but if you have more of a presence and better posture, you look more confident, and you actually, your body is making you more confident based on your posture. That's what the 2 millimeters is. So I want you to make a plan for PD. I think that this is vital. Next is I want you to make a plan for your schedule. And what I mean is you need to stop winging this. Stop winging your life. Stop winging your schedule. I get it. There might be some circumstances where you're like, I have a newborn. My schedule looks a little bit different. I totally get that. Get that for sure. I get that things come up. I'm literally going out of town randomly this week. And now I'm like, okay, I have 2 calls to lead next week. I need to figure out how to make this happen while being out of town, right? I'm going to figure it out. But maybe you just need to start a week ahead of time. And you need to not just make lists. You need to attach time frames to this list. So for example, if it's Eric and I, we wake up at 4:30 to 5, we're priming and meditating, right? Then from 5 to 5:15, we're rebounding. And then from 5:15 to 5:45 or 6, we're doing a workout. And so then it's specified with the time. And then from 6 to 6:30, personal development, right? And then you're figuring that out. So maybe with you, you list out your tasks, but you also write them down. So 8 o'clock national wake-up call. At 8:45, when that call is done, to 9, I'm going to check in with my challengers and respond to them instead of winging it and responding to every single notification as it goes off. That is going to drive you crazy. That is going to get you distracted and off task. So maybe if you schedule in, this is how I want to do this. Google Calendar is awesome. Actually, Kim, maybe you can share your Google Calendar with us and Team Happy and Fit. That would be so awesome. So schedule in also your personal development, but I want you to schedule in your professional development. I've talked about this, that this business for me has not just been built on personal development of like, yay, you feel so good, but I've also done professional development, meaning if I want to get really skilled at something, I watch as many videos as I can about it. If your goal is Emerald, you should be watching every single YouTube video on Emerald. Not in a row, maybe once a day, okay? If you are struggling with inviting, go to Google, go to YouTube. There's so many scripts out there. I don't think scripts work. I think you need to detail them and get specific, but get an idea of what to say to someone. Maybe you want to get really good at handling objections. There are so many resources out there. Maybe you want to hit elite. There are so many things out there. Maybe whatever it is that you want to do, you want to rock a challenge group. There are so many resources out there, but I want you to schedule in professional development based on the goal that you have for yourself. Maybe it's to make $100 a week, and you can set that goal. I really do believe that this all starts with Success Club. I do believe that Success Club and Emerald are the compounding effects of you building a six-figure business. What you have to hear is, one, Beachbody does not guarantee any kind of success. It's all based on your own skill, diligence, and hustle. But Success Club and Emerald, when you wash, rinse, repeat that over and over and over and over and over again, that is what is going to turn your business into what you want it to be. You're getting good at rambling that up. Yep. Got to put that in there. I want you to make a plan for community. I want you to make a plan for community. So maybe it's for your community group and you are going to figure out your themes for the rest of the year. I have a year-long group. I don't even want to say a year-long group. I have a life group that just has no end. But Jenny's in it. She knows we're doing the happiness advantage right now and we're on day 2. So I have 14 days of content. And then next month, I'm going to have a new theme next month for 14 days. But my group it's every day. But for 14 days of each month, I do a specific theme. So maybe that's what you plan out. You plan out all your themes for each month. Maybe you plan out all your Zooms for the rest of the year. Maybe you plan out, if you are doing challenge groups, the themes of those, right? Maybe it's with your team. Maybe you plan out what it is that you want to do with your team. For me, I always plan every 1 month is done. I plan all of the events for all of our Zooms for everyone to see. So that's a plan that I have for the community. But also maybe it's even more like this. On Thursdays, I do team cycle bonus earners of my PS coaches and celebrate them. On Thursdays, I celebrate all rank advancements. On Wednesdays, I do Success Club board and I do the volume board. So maybe it's making that plan with the time, with your schedule. So maybe on Tuesdays at 9 a.m., that is when I do this, and this. On Wednesdays at 9 a.m., this is what I do. I do the volume board, so you're not winging it and all over the place. Maybe for your community, the only time you check in with your challengers, right, is at 8 a.m., and then the next day you check in at 8 a.m. again. But you share your story in your group, like you post your stuff, but you respond back to all your people the next day. Maybe it's, you know what I'm saying? For me, it could be planning, I'm doing shout outs for my challengers on Saturday mornings. But I think when you have a plan for your community, you're not winging it. And for you as a coach of wanting to learn, I need to say this all the time, I plug in to growth and mentoring myself. On Tuesday, actually Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I get on a call where I get mentored, where I get ideas. Actually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So for you, maybe it's scheduling in for your community time, because I don't think it just has to be scheduled for how you give to your community, but also where you receive from a community. And I think it's really important for you to connect with your main hub and connect with other coaches and build friendships. So maybe you have to be intentional with that. Maybe that's on Fridays where you're going to friend new coaches. You're going to welcome all the coaches to the team. You're going to be doing those things. Or maybe, yeah, you're doing shout outs. Shout outs are everything. Oh, everything. When you can respond back in enthusiasm and intentionality with shouting out, praising others, then they don't have to be your coaches in order to do that. You can literally give shout outs for other coaches, which I think is everything. And then the Woohoo Wednesdays and Success Club. That's amazing, Jill. I'm so glad. And then what I want you to do, so you're making a plan for your PD, a plan for your schedule, a plan for your community, but also not just how you're receiving it either, how you're giving it. You need to give as well. If you want recognition, recognize the heck out of people, right? I want you to make a plan for your monthly success club for the next 6 months and not wing it. So many people at the end of the month will be like, I'm trying. And I'm like, you had 29 other days. I love that you're trying, but you had 30 other days. Don't set yourself up to this. It's going to drive you nuts. Right now, it's only the 17th. You have what, 14 more days? You've got this. You just have to make a decision. So I want you to set up monthly success club. So what does that look like for you? Every month, I'm going to hit Success Club 5 by the 10th. And maybe you miss it one month, but if you know that's your target, you're going to go for it, right? Maybe it's going to be Success Club 10 every month. And how many PS coaches do you want to help get started? My theory is Success Club 6. Success Club 10 is money, you guys. Like, that's awesome. Success Club 10 is so good. That is like, if that's going to push you, do it. Success Club and 2 coaches a month. They get into this community, their life will transform. I believe that. And then also, you're going to continue. If you're serious about this business, that is what you need to do. I'm being straight up. Not every other month, not every 3 months, not every once in a while. I am saying the bread and butter to you growing and helping other people grow. For me, if I can help other women lose weight, if I can help other women become financially fit, if I can help women do this or that, that is what I'm going to do. This is my job. It is my job. If I had a boss over my shoulder and my job was to hit Success Club and help 2 new coaches, if I worked somewhere and signed a contract and that's what I'd have to do, that's what I would do, right? This is your job. That's your job. Just like if a boss was looking over. Success Club and 2 PS coaches at least. What is your rank goal by the end of the year? You have 6 months. More than like, I encourage you to share it before or hit it before December in setting a goal. For us, it's 10 star by next summit 15. We're close, but it's in the hands of everyone else. If they're serious about it, we'll hit it. And if they're just saying it, we won't. But I believe that we can. So what is your rank goal? If you can understand, Emerald is a choice. You could become Emerald tonight if you wanted to. Don't make it complicated. It's not. It's a decision. If you are going to say diamond in a year, and I have not looked at the chat, so if someone said this, I'm not looking at you if you said this. I think you're setting yourself up for failure. If you're saying Emerald in 6 months, I think you're setting yourself up for failure. Emerald could seriously happen tonight. And once you realize that, then go Emerald again. It's just a decision. You can do this. You have to be willing to put in the work, though. You have to level up, and you have to do that. And then what is your income goal for the end of the year? Is it $200 a week? Is it to get your challenge pack covered? Is it to make $1,000 a month? Is it to make $2,000 a week? What is your income goal? And then work backwards. And how do you get there? So plan for PD, plan for schedule, plan for community, monthly success club, your rank for the end of the year, and your income goal for the rest of the year. This business is untapped potential. There is no glass ceiling to this business. You can out-earn, out-earn, out-earn. You can literally give yourself a 300% raise. We've been doing that every year. You can legitimately do insane things in this business while working on yourself and becoming the best version of yourself. And I believe that starts with personal development.